We were at 10.4% a year ago, we're 11% now. The real issue, however, is that it's a two-speed Europe. In the periphery, in Italy, in Portugal, in Spain, we've seen the biggest increases compared to a year ago. You mentioned Spain. In Italy as well, we're up 0.3% compared to a month ago. And this is very hard to stop for two reasons. First, because these governments are forced to do austerity measures on the fiscal side. And second, because on the monetary policy side, the ECB's actions to lower rates are still not working. As Draghi said himself, the monetary policy transmission mechanism through the banking system is impaired. So these countries need to do less austerity and more growth measures. And the ECB needs to fix the transmission mechanism of policy. It needs to make sure that banks lend after the central bank lowers rates. That's only possible with a banking union next year, as the ECB is planning to do.
But there's little prospect of less austerity ahead in these countries, isn't there?
There is little prospects of less austerity. However, like in Greece, these countries can be allowed to have more time to carry out the necessary austerity measures, and eventually they will have to deflate to lower their labor costs to become more competitive. This has partly already happened. I think what's missing is really the monetary stimulus side. In other words, even if the ECB has lowered rates, it doesn't necessarily mean that Italian banks are lending to Italian households and Spanish banks to Spanish firms. Actually, there is a very strong lack of credit. Firms are starving for cash in these countries. And the reason is that there's no capital in the banking system, and that still €1 in Spain and Italy is worth less than €1 in Germany because there's no backstop for deposits. There is no deposit guarantee fund or a banking union. I think this is the key step that policymakers need to work towards into 2013.